Hi.
Hi.
This Facebook stuff, this is a real problem.
Well, but we have a real thing to talk about that's better.
A big thing. A really big thing.
Your hair looks so good. That's
It
very
does.
large.
Closer to Jesus. Higher.
I don't have a copy of the book.
So I was hearing that and I was quite disappointed in you as an author.
It's in the car.
What if it was your child's homework? It's in the car. I have two. I have one for Adrian.
Well, mine, they're selling like hotcakes. Yesterday, I went to lunch with my mother and my godmother and grandpa, and the bookstore downtown texted me and was like, "I need more books." And I was like, "Well, I'm at lunch.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm going to bring some there for you to sign. Is that okay? And then you can bring the other ones to me later."
Did that
And then,
feel cool?
no, no,
Yes, it did.
no, it didn't, because I was on my phone. I looked like one of those annoying people that's on their phone the whole time they go out to eat.
Well, you're a New York Times bestselling author.
I did hear this.
Um,
And my husband yesterday was like, "Do you think that there are any more in Edenton?" I
any
said,
other authors?
"Yeah."
There's a big one in Woodbury where I live. He writes like murder mystery. I'll find his name, but he's like big deal. And I'm like, knock, knock, knock. Hello.
Well, I've been commenting on people's Instagrams. I'm like, "I'm so honored to share the list with you."
Oh, awesome.
They're not saying anything.
Well, they probably don't manage their own Instagrams.
Well, I know.
We're pretty low on the, I mean, this is the really, and I'm just going to say this once before we get into our
We
topic.
sell books. We got cash falling around the place.
I went and spoke to a group
Got a new square
of 30 yesterday at a school. I was lugging my books in. The wind was blowing. It was, I'm like trying to keep the books dry. And I was like, I'm an author.
signing in the parking lot.
There's nothing glamorous. I mean, maybe when you get to Brene Brown, but we're low. We're low. Humble.
We're as low as you could get.
But can I tell you something just kind of cool that happened to me? This is really cool.
Which is
I had a lady reach out yesterday that her son is graduating, and she asked for 20 signed copies of Forever Boy to give to people that are coming. And that was kind of like a full circle moment for me. I mean, Adrian and I and Carrie, we're not writing to get famous. We can make fun of ourselves, but we know, we want to help people. And so that was really, it brought a tear. It's a tear.
Yeah, I had 10 different things. So I did a book signing here in Edenton yesterday, and I had, because I do there, and yes, I have 120 friends in town for the weekend, and they are out. I saw them on the trolley this morning. I mean, there's a lot happening here. It's raining. And but anyway, so there were about 60 people that came. That was great. A lot of my followers in town, but several autism families came. And
And did
I
you know
learned from I knew one pretty young new family that I've kind of gotten to know, and then a woman I had met. She lives a couple hours away. So we had met somewhere else. So I knew her particularly. And then the other one I didn't know. And then I met someone that works at a group home nearby in a town over that's called the Benjamin House. And Benjamin's parents started it. It has 6 people that live there because they wanted Benjamin to have a place to live. Very similar to like what we would like to do,
what
right?
we want.
So I was thinking, when you come to an Edenton time, we're going to have to go over there. So they came by, and I ended up giving a lot of books away. I gave books to small children. You're just like, I gave books to a little girl whose her brother died of a brain tumor a couple months ago. She's, not quite, she just turned 2, because we're, sisters have lost brothers. So anyway, I was like, oh,
Oh my God.
But anyway, the moms, I learned from Kate, when we were in New York, and I should have known it. But anyway, our New York book signing was very, very small. It was like a rectangular box, and the people were in line, and our followers, particularly mine, they show up very early, which is
but
I am very late.
Like for Adrian's people, yeah, it's true.
They come so, like, yesterday, I was like, "I know now not to get there early because then it starts." So yesterday, I got there at 3:50. It was supposed to start at 4, and there was, like, 40 people in line. It's
Oh,
like, it's fine. It was nice.
oh, am I still here? Can you guys see me? She must be getting a phone call. I'm guessing she's getting a phone call. I hope she comes back.
Where am I? I can
Did
hear
you get
you.
did you get a phone call?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like the mm. Um, so there was this I looked over and I saw, a woman probably in her 30s, and she had a shirt that said autism, and she had the look, you, like, knew she had autism. And I went up and spoke to her, and her mom said, "Well, I'm her mom." And I said, "Oh, we've met before." And she said, "Yes, we've met. And this is Jennifer." And I think she was 36. And they had driven a couple of hours. So Jennifer and I, talked. And I said, "Do you want to come up to the front?" And she was like, "No, she is just fine." And then the next mom was there, the Kaylin, who is the newer, younger mom. And I said, "Autism to the front. Autism gets to come to the front of the line."
Makes me cry.
Because Kate did that in New York.
Because we can't go. We can't go if we can't go first. We just
And it's
can't.
hard enough for little children. Like, there was a typical family, and I heard the mother say like 10 times, "You're not going to get a cookie." They were throwing pillows, but they were just being like naughty 3 and 4-year-olds.
Yeah. Harbor.
It's different. Yes, hard. They were being hard. They were cannonballing off the porch. But it was different. So like, we can all learn something from each other, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And even me saying autism comes to the front of the line, the people that were in that line, I hope will remember that. And then maybe they'll be at a public bathroom and they'll be like, "Oh, you come up and get in front of me." It's so
100.
easy to make like your whole life so much better. Yeah, Sherry just said the line jumping helps. So it means so much. It's like life changing.
And this is what I always say about accommodations. Like, I think people outside our world think that we want, like, the red carpet rolled out. We want
Right.
free. I don't want free. I'll pay extra if I can
Yeah.
just if Cooper, his biggest challenge still to this day at 14 is waiting. So, like, if we're walking up to a zoo and he sees a line of 50 people, game over.
Mhm, mhm.
It's like he doesn't know how to process it. So, that little simple accommodation, it doesn't it's not a hard thing to just let them go first, and she'll remember that. She'll
Yeah,
will.
I hope we can. I think that is one of the biggest takeaways that I would like people to know, because that waiting thing really is, I mean, our biggest problems, I think, have come from waiting. And
And
every time I go to the airport, I talk to TSA about it. I'm like, I don't there are people that they put the people in the wheelchairs, and I'm not against them being in wheelchairs. I now have a 90-year-old in a wheelchair. But the people in the wheelchairs should not get put in front of the people with disabilities. They should be at least peers,
equal. Yep.
because we get pushed to the back of the line so people can be pushed ahead in a wheelchair. And I'm not talking about people that are in their own wheelchair, like they have disabilities. But even if they did, they would still be equal with autism.
Yep.
It's such a weird, maybe people are like, "You're nuts, you don't know about this," but it's really, we fly so much that, like, it's really a problem.
You know what one of Cooper's biggest triggers are? And I bet I don't throw around the word PTSD very much, but those ropes that you have to stand in, like at the airport or any, he used to like take them and like lean on them, and then they go zing, and like people would be like, you know, nervous, but hurt, and it's like it was almost like a challenge. And I know we can't get away from those things, but
Yeah.
those are a problem.
Well, I'm gonna put Amos in a wheelchair when we fly in a week, and, I really hate to do that, but I have grandpa, he's gonna be in a wheelchair, and I don't have the energy to get to the airport and go find TSA Cares and complain that they're not there. Like, every time I call them, they never come. I'll call them again, but, like, I'm moving to plan 2, which is really not fair. I
Well,
really should
I talk
not have
about
to
that.
put him in a wheelchair.
You probably don't remember this, but in the I talk about invisible disabilities and how my friend Miriam Her son is probably 18 now with autism, very similar to Cooper. She puts him in a wheelchair because people are nicer. And I talk about that. I'm like, do we really have to look more disabled to get kindness? I talk about that in the book.
Oh.
And it's like,
See, I might be meaner when I see someone that I know it's not their wheelchair. I'm like, "Hmm,
okay, let's say our news.
you go
Okay,
first."
this
But I did a little research before you say it.
okay.
Are you going to
Oh.
say about the win for autism?
So we found out on Wednesday night around 5 p.m. that Autism Out Loud hit the New York Times bestseller list. And so
Number 7 out of
in
15.
and kind of explain it. So there's different categories. And so in the nonfiction category, there's 15 books.
Kate didn't know that. Kate was like, "There's a lot." I was like, "No, no, there's 15." She was like, "Oh." Oh.
Well, true, 100%. I didn't know
I
that.
was really nervous. I was
I
not
know you
feeling
split it
confident
up.
that afternoon.
Well, I didn't make it the first time. So that's probably why I didn't know. Because like USA Today, which is a great list, it's a
Yeah.
hundred and is it 150 books? Whatever it is. But
Yes,
they're all
yes.
like it's like we're pitted against like the Bible and what to expect when you're expecting and yeah.
And now we're pitted against every Easter Bunny book because it's spring. And if you write an Easter Bunny
Mother
book, we need to write one. The Autistic Easter Bunny.
the number one book in motherhood is this journal. It's like not even a book. It's like a journal. And I'm like, grr.
A
Um,
journal, that's like blank pages. If you're watching this video, double click it to like it. Go ahead. Yes.
yeah. So once we found out we made the list, it was I'm telling you, it was like a FaceTime of like excitement. I was doing something, we were all running around. So
We
it didn't
couldn't
really
find her. She was buying white tap shoes.
story of my life. And so once I got Winnie into her I don't know if I told you this, I was so, like, emotional, not crying, but, like, shaking. I had to put these bows on Winnie's white tap shoes. I couldn't do it. I couldn't like, a mom helped me. She's like, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "I just got the biggest phone call of my career." Like,
Right.
really, that was it, right? That was
Yeah.
the big and
Yeah.
so
I think so.
Winnie in for the dance things, I sat down and I went like this, I'm like, Autism just made the New York Times bestseller list. And this woman next to me is like, "Did you write a book?" And I was like, "I did, but it's bigger than that." I'm like, I have goosebumps because I'm going to say something bold that might make you feel uncomfortable that are watching. People don't want to talk about disability. They don't. Disability is not sexy. Disability is not always funny. Disability is real. And this book is now on the top of the conversation. We have a seat at the table finally. Okay.
So we are the fourth book about autism to make the New York Times list.
Ever.
And the last one was in 2017. So I'm going to tell you the names of the books because I looked them up. Um, the Reason I Jump.
Which is amazing. Amazing book.
Oh gosh, now I can't read my own handwriting.
What's it?
New
Neuro Tribes?
Neurotribes. And then in a different
I
key,
don't know
in
the
a
other.
different key. In a Different Key was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize.
I've never even heard of it.
Well, it was like in 2000 and it's quite an old book. So those are 3. Reason I Jump, Neurotribes, in a Different Key. They made the New York Times. One has not been on there in 8 years. So if you're a statistician like me and you do the math, 8 times 52 is what? 4,000. Is that right? 52 times 8, 16.
Jamie, what's 52 times 8?
400 and something. Like 416.
Yeah.
So there's been a dry spell for 416-ish weeks.
Or
So it's a really big deal. It is a big deal.
well, and people look at that list and they value that list and they're
Yeah.
going
Book
like
clubs evidently pick their books from the list. I'm not in a
what
book club.
and they're like, "Okay, I guess we can talk about autism now." I mean, that's I know that sounds so
Yeah,
simple, but like it's like suddenly there's permission to be interested in this and for the mom sitting in her living room in Idaho, she can share now. Like that's what it feels like to me. It's permission to share.
right, right,
You
right.
did it.
I I I'm a big believer in saying what you want out loud, and sometimes I really encouraged my children to do that. So my son Thomas graduated from high school a year ago, and he wanted to go to Carolina. He thought he did, And, when people go to college, Kate, you're not at this point yet, there's, like, a lot of secrecy, like, n generally, people won't say where they wanna go, because if they don't get in, right, then they would look like they failed. So it's like, "Well, she doesn't know where she wants to go." So I was very, pushy to say to Thomas, "Own where you want to go." I want to go to Carolina. I also like state, but the Carolina is my first choice. So when he didn't get in, I was so glad he had that experience of what that felt like to own something and to not get it, but realize that it really wasn't that big of a deal. And so when this happened, and I didn't tell you that this was going on in my own mind, but I was really struggling with wanting to own being on the New York Times list. It felt so far away
I was
for
scared to
us.
you know that.
Yeah, and I think I said to Kate and Carrie, I knew that they were probably thinking, ugh. I said, I think we need to own this. I think owning this is going to help us get there because we're being brave. We're doing what we've done with this book, and we're going to say we want to be on the New York Times list. And the only way it's going to happen is if y'all help us. And if we fail, we tried, but it happened. In seven, I would have been thrilled with number 15. Let me just say that right there.
Oh, yeah.
15 was my best friend. And
To me, they're all the same unless you're number 1. I mean, I'm saying that humorously, like number
yeah, I
1,
mean, we knew we weren't going to be.
but, like,
Maria Shriver is number one, of course.
just to make the list to me is, that's number 1 to me, I guess, is that
Yes, totally agree. And so now I haven't even told Kate this. I have a new goal for us.
oh god, I'm so tired. My chest pains. What?
So the new goal is to get chosen for a book club, whether it be Oprah, Jenna, or
Re Reese?
Reese. So
I'm sure there's
those
others too.
those are the book clubs. And so we need to continue to sell books. It is $23 on Target today. And reach out to Jenna, Reese, and Oprah
And we
and
found out
Hoda because Hoda's got an in with all of them.
well,
And
we
just
found
say,
out that Oprah
I want y'all to read this book.
yeah, and we found out from a follower that Oprah and longest shot ever, just to say that, but we're gonna own
Yeah,
it.
it's great.
She picks all of her books a year ahead, right? So
Right.
now it'd be
We're
2026.
2026. And maybe the time is ripe for autism,
I said
and
this in the news now. People are talking about it. What good or bad, they're talking
yeah.
about
And I think what is, our book is not sexy. It's not like the history of Apple, or something that people are like, oh, that's so interesting. It's
or a
autism.
rom-com.
Yeah, we're rom-com. But I think we might not be. Like getting on the New York Times list is kind of like saying, you have a seat at the table and maybe we've become sexy and I'll take it. So maybe Reese or Oprah or whatever her name, Jenna are going to be like, this book is important not just to autism moms. This book is important that we all, it's really more about our community and our world. And what do we need to know about autistic families? Because they're everywhere,
And, I mean, not to
I
just
think.
to say that, but mothers. That's the thing that I think so I was talking to, a group of teachers last night in a separate thing, and I said, "What happens when you"
Mothers of non autistic children.
well, when you have a child diagnosed with a disability, suddenly it really feels like you're the diagnosis. Does that make sense? Like it
Hmm.
becomes your identity, and it's everything is autism or Down syndrome or
Yeah,
ADHD or whatever whatever it may be.
right. Oh, yeah. Hoda has a
But
podcast.
it's still kids and it's still moms and it's still families. So if you are sitting there and you're like, well, I don't have autism in my life, you're still going to get so much out of this book. And that's what we got to get in Jenna's head and Oprah's head and Reese's head. It's we have to expand the conversation. And the New York Times list is that start. I truly believe that.
And I think it's equally valuable for the families that need support and the families that I think those two groups are split even of who I'd like to have it. And we
Yeah.
we really just we went over like, do we want to put autism in the title? And I'm so thankful we did because I mean, I think we were kind of on the fence and I was like, let's gamble.
It was
Let's
life out
it was a
loud.
gamble.
It was
Let's
life
put
out loud
autism.
for a long time. Life out loud.
And I don't know.
Exactly, and, Audible just picked us for a, book to listen to. That's a really and they actually just commented on my thing, Audible
I
comment.
know. So I messaged Audible because they liked my story, and you know what I said?
What?
Can you share my story?
Good for you. So Audible so I'm telling you,
You
there's
need to ask them too. Let's just go around.
10,000,000
They have
books on Audible.
1.7 million followers.
Well, and it's like there's 10,000,000 books, whatever, 20, who knows what there is on Audible. And it's like, I think they picked us because of the book's phenomenal, but this is it now. We did made the right decision.
Yeah, we did. And it's so rare that I make the right decision about anything.
Oh, not true. Well,
No, I went to Minnesota and I had like flip-flops and it was snowing. I mean, it's like it's just what happens. But last night, in the line, I had a couple moms who I know, they have children that are in Amos's grade, and they came and brought their daughters, and they know Amos. And my one friend, who's a good friend, but she said, I knew you were writing this book, and I'm so proud of you, and we love Amos. But she said the other night you were talking about how you want the world to be kinder and gentler. And I had never thought, she said, I'm so glad to read it from a new perspective of like, what can we do to
I
welcome you? You know,
um oh,
it
Bethany
is the
said first
first, you're
her
right.
book.
It is the first book to make the New York Times list. That's very important to point out, Bethany, with the word autism in the title. So you had Reason I Jump, Neurotribes, and in a different key. And what I think is really poignant about that is the fact that those people probably wanted to put autism in the title and were afraid to
I agree 100%. I
because
think
they worried it won't sell if we put autism in the title. People will think it's depressing.
I think we came out at the exact right time.
Yeah, I do
Because
too.
yeah. Okay, so before we hop off, because you have a very busy weekend, let's tell people the different ways they can get the book. So first, tell about your signed thing. Tell oh, Adrian. Adrian? She's like a magic man. Now you see me,
Well,
now
they
you don't.
said the sound is cutting out. Hold on, let me go to settings.
But I want to talk about, and then we'll talk about we'll hop off. But so there's different ways you can get the book. So just listen to this whole thing. So the first way you can get the book is on Amazon. And honestly, Amazon is the cheapest. It's 23 bucks. It's the
I would push if you want the cheaper route, I would do Target.
Yep. So that's the cheapest, and that's just fine, right? The
Yeah.
second thing I want to say is please continue to request the book from your library. I get messages every day from
And
mamas
Barnes and Noble.
who are unable to purchase it, and we're doing our best to get out free books. Trust me, we'd give them all away, but we're
Yeah.
out of books. But so please, please request it from your library so other moms can read it. Also, throw one in your little free library. Do you guys have those there?
That's a good idea. We
And,
have one here. I'm gonna take one in there. See how
and
many
sign
I
it.
can.
And then Adrian has a really fun offer. Say yours.
Yeah, so we have an indie bookstore. She has two bookstores. Her name is Jamie, and she has a book. You can order The Duck's Cottage. I'm not unable to put a link in on YouTube, which is annoying. And you get a book signed by all three moms and all three sons.
Jack, Cooper, and Amos, and it is cute as a button.
It really Jack's signature is so fancy. It's like he's like Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's better than us.
It is. It's like a swirl. I sent you the signatures too, so you could practice putting them on the book plate.
Yes. So you could order. So if it's important to you to have the signed copy, which look what I just found of. This was just in my pile of books I'm mailing out.
Oh,
Like this. I mean, with a sticker. But if you,
yeah.
that's important to a lot of people, and they'll come to my signings and they'll have books signed by all of us. And to get, we're only doing this once through this bookstore. You're helping a local independent bookstore, and you're going to get all the signatures of the kids. So that's really
Yeah.
cool.
We got 500.
So
So
Adrian, share that as soon as that link.
yes, I will.
And
Yep,
then
it's Dutch Cottage.
the last thing that I'll say is the Audible. And so Audibles are really great. I haven't read a book in a long time besides the women. So if you
Mhm.
know that you can't sit down and read, get the Audible.
So if you drive, I had people that have driven to come to Edenton this weekend, like, and they're all, it seems like they all drove about 10 hours and they're on chapter 12.
I messaged Sarah last night to take care of you. I was like, "You need
Oh,
to take."
she told me this morning.
I'm like, "You need to take care of my friend," and she's like, "We're listening to the book,"
They were like, so I have 3 autism moms here for the weekend, which is just such a treat for me. They are like easy as pie.
and they're
Well, they
lovely.
were coming in last night at 9. Well, then it was going to be 10:30, and I was supposed to do a video with Kate, and I just said, I can't. I'm so tired. And I thought, I cannot be tired for the whole weekend. I'll never make it.
Yeah. You are so I'm so glad they're there with you. Okay, so Adrian, are you gonna share this video on Facebook too? Because then I'll share it from your page.
Yes. Yes, I sure will. Yep.
Okay. Thank you everyone that's purchased. It's
Thank you all. And just
thank you.
thanks for helping us put the word autism on the New York Times. If you'd share this video, we would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Click it, double like it. It's
And
really feels like a big deal.
and I'll just say it because I'm gonna put it out there, right? We're owning things. As soon
Yeah.
as the copies that have been printed sell out, they will do a reprint and it will say New York Times bestseller. And just so you know, that is like the grant, right? That's it. That's is that what it is? That's the Oscar. And so we
Yeah,
got
I wrote
all
it
these
in
earned copies.
Sharpie on top of mine.
So um
It's a really big deal. And we're going to have some quotes on there. We're going to have some quotes on there, and they're going to be some pretty darn amazing quotes.
so please
Peop-
buy them up. Buy them up. Buy them for the teachers for
Yeah.
any school year. Buy them for anyone that you can think of, grandma for Mother's Day, your sister, whoever. But I want
A
that on.
lot of people last night were buying for like a guy I work with. Well, a man said, I work with a guy whose child has autism. My sister, my niece, my cousin. I knew this teacher that she's retired. I mean, I was like, this is amazing. How many people they're thinking of, like, who needs this book? Myself, I don't have autism, but I want to know more. Anyway,
Mhm. So awesome. So yeah, go grab them right now. Thank you. Bye, Adrian.
bye.
See ya.